Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be, ew, I don't want to have sex with you. Well, that's basically what this next email, or this next viewer's email, I guess his wife, that's basically what she says to him when he wants to have sex with her. And apparently they haven't had sex in a couple of years, and he is suspicious that she's cheating on him. So he says, hey, Coach, I'm just wondering. He says, she's talking to and sometimes going to an ex's house. She says that they're only friends, but I have seen and heard things on her phone, and she says there's nothing going on. He says, we've been married for 18 years with 2 kids. She sleeps in another room, and we have not had sex in 2 years. If you believe nothing is going on with this, Heather, dude, I got a fucking great bridge to sell you, brother. I got some great beachfront property to sell you in Fukushima, Japan. You know, all the nice radioactive stuff there. So he says, and when I ask, she goes... when it comes to sex, he says, well, we've not had sex in 2 years, and when I ask, she goes, ew, and says no, or not with you. She has said, please be patient. It will work itself out. In other words, just keep waiting here, and when I get all my ducks in a row and finally ready to leave you, then everything will work out great for me, and you're on your own, sucker. That's kind of what the impression is I'm getting here, man. He says, I don't have enough room here to tell you everything. I was like, well, you've pretty much told me enough. And the fact of the matter is, if she ain't fucking you, and she's hanging out with her ex, and she's like grossed out by the thought of having sex with you, your relationship is pretty much over. She's sleeping in another room, dude. She's already left you. She just hasn't left the house yet because she's staying in it for the kids. Well, that's really great. That's a nice fucked up dysfunctional way to teach your kids the wrong way to have a relationship. So if you are a self-respecting man, my first piece of advice to you would be to start out by reading my book. And the second piece of advice would be to sit down and have a talk with your wife. Just say, honey, I love you, but this ain't working for me. We haven't had sex in 2 years, and when I bring it up, you're like grossed out by it. You're like grossed out by me. You sleep in another room. You're running around hanging out with your ex, and you tell me that there's nothing going on, acting like I'm fucking stupid or something. And so here's the deal. You got one choice. You can either make the effort, we can start dating, start sleeping together, and start having a real relationship, or one of us needs to move out and we need to get a divorce because you ain't making any effort in our marriage and I'm over it. You know, I got needs too. And if you're not going to put out, then I'm going to go find a woman who loves me and who appreciates me for me because you're making zero effort to make this marriage work. That's what I would do. I mean, something along those lines. You have to tell her how you really feel and that you want to work things out. And if she's unwilling to work things out, then, hey, somebody needs to move out. And you need to figure out who that's going to be so you can move on with your life. Because what you got to see here is that obviously the sex and the romance stopped at some point in the past. And then what happens is she moved out of your bedroom into another room in the house. And now she's hanging out with an ex, and she's going over his house and hanging out all the time. And it's like, I mean, to me, it sounds pretty obvious that there's obviously something going on because there obviously ain't anything happening between the two of you. So it sounds like she's already kind of left the marriage, and she's just kind of trying to arrange everything and get all her ducks in a row so she can go, hey, see you later. I decided I'm out of here. But just be a man, put your foot down and say, hey, you're either going to work on this marriage or why don't you move? I mean, she's the one that's moved out of your bedroom, so let her move out of the house and the kids can stay with you. Tell her that. It's like if you want to go hang out and hook up with your ex, then why don't you go move in with him? And then the kids and I will stay here in the house and I'll find somebody who does love me and who does appreciate me because I'm over this shit. This just ain't going to continue on anymore. You're either going to work at improving our relationship or it's over. And let's be adults about this, admit that it's over, and so we can figure out how we're going to split things up and move on. That's what I would do if I were you. I wouldn't just keep letting this stuff go. And you've obviously been ignoring this stuff and ignoring the fact that it's a problem for a long time. And now you're starting to have suspicions that she's cheating on you. And a lot of women will do this. They'll kind of keep you on the hook and keep you guessing, keep you thinking that she's still in it to win it, so to speak. And when in reality, all she's really doing is getting all of her ducks in a row and lining up a new guy so she can say, hey, it's been fun, but I'm out of here. Something to think about, dude. I feel for you, man. So if you have a question you want to ask me, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen, send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max, and just give me several weeks to get back to you with a response. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. You can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, on my website, underneath the email sign-up box, is a box that has a link that'll take you right to the Amazon Kindle download page for my book. Once you get there, if you don't have a Kindle device, just download one of their free e-reader apps for whatever electronic device you want to read my book on. And if you appreciate the value of the information I offer in these video newsletters, the articles on my website, or my ebook, you can show your appreciation right now by going to my website, and on the Ewww toolbar at the bottom of your screen, click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information. And I will talk to you soon.